This is the story of an ordinary man, not a hero, not a millionaire, just a tired person who wanted to change something about his life. One night, he made a decision. Tomorrow he would wake up at 4 a.m. The alarm went off. 4 a.m. Darkness, silence, and his heart said, just go back to sleep. But he got up. He sat on the edge of the bed, eyes half open, body heavy, cold air biting at his skin. This did not feel good at all. He stood in front of the mirror, in the dark, and asked himself, why am I doing this? Will it even matter? Can I actually change? He made coffee, held the mug with both hands, like it was the only thing keeping him alive. With every sip, his eyes opened a little more. He put on his shoes, wrote day 1 on the calendar. It was a small step, but he took it, and that is always the hardest part, just starting. He stepped outside alone. The road was empty. The sky was dark. Only one star was shining. The whole world was asleep, and he was walking. He came home and opened his journal, picked up his pen, and started writing his thoughts, his dreams, his fears. For the first time, he talked to himself honestly. He stood at the window, darkness outside, questions inside. He was thinking, will this actually work, or am I just fooling myself? Day 3, he fell back. The alarm rang, and he switched it off. The bed pulled him in. It felt like failure, but that night, he set the alarm again. Day 5, he fell asleep mid-work. Paper scattered everywhere. Pen dropped from his hand. He had not given up, he was just human. Day 14, something changed. He looked in the mirror and his eyes were brighter than before. His back was straighter. He was the same person, but slightly different. Day 21, he was running, arms pumping, steps faster, a faint light on the horizon, and something inside him was lighting up too. Day 30, 1 full month done. Laptop open, coffee ready, work started. He no longer waited for motivation. He just showed up and did it. He looked at his own progress. Focus had improved. Energy had increased. His mind was clearer. He was amazed. One single habit changed this much? Day 60. His journal was completely full. Every page was filled with his thoughts. He held it and thought, did I really write all of this? He walked past sleeping people, and he was already awake. No pride, no ego, just a quiet gratitude toward himself for showing up every single day. Day 75, he was not just working anymore. He would sit, stay quiet, breathe. In the silence of 4 a.m., he had finally found himself. Day 90, he drew 2 figures on the whiteboard. The first, who he was before. The second, who he was now. Looking at the difference, his eyes filled up. Day 100, he finished an entire book, the one that had been sitting on his shelf for years. He thought, if this much can happen in 100 days, what can happen in a whole lifetime? He stood outside. The sun was rising. Light was spreading everywhere. And for the first time, he felt that this sunrise was not just for others, it was for him too. By 6 a.m., 2 full hours of work were already done. When the world was just waking up, he had already moved far ahead. Every checkmark was his victory. He won no award, no trophy came from outside, but inside, he picked up the trophy of discipline that nobody could ever take away from him.
And then he understood. It was never really about 4 a.m. It was about that one decision. The decision he made for himself, for no one else. There were 2 paths. The old him, sleeping, stopping, fearing. The new him, walking, learning, growing. He chose the new path and never looked back. Now, every morning, he sits on a bench, journal in hand, coffee beside him. And when the world wakes up, he has already been living for hours. Day 365, 1 full year. Same stickman, same red cap, but inside, a completely new person. Spine straight, eyes forward, heart strong. He placed his hand on his heart and said it was never about the time, it was about the choice you have not made yet. Every morning a new sun rises. Every morning a new chance appears. The question is not when the sun rises, the question is when do you rise? Your 4 a.m. is waiting. Maybe yours is not 4 a.m., maybe it is 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., but there is always that 1 hour that belongs only to you and your life. Get up, starting from today.